name's Dee and welcome to Sunchild Tarot. Now this is a general-ish reading for someone with Aries in their chart, so Sun, Moon or Rising, born in the year of the dog. So 1994 is one of those, and I forget what all the other ones are. But basically I'm reading for an Aries dog. Now, as a general reading rules apply. You know, roles can be reversed, timing's not absolute. You've heard it all before, you've heard me say it several times before and other readers. But what I would like you to do is, prior to this reading, ask a question. Pause the video if you have to. Take a moment, think about all of the questions that are around you and focus upon one of them. Now, the focus is energy in, energy out. You put the energy in by focusing, and hopefully I return that to you by having given you a valid reading, because it either is for you or it isn't. Although this is more of a guidance than, there isn't a past and a present here. This is a guidance reading, so you know, hopefully it will be useful for you. But anyway, focus on that question, but be aware of all of them, because the cards all answer what they want and not necessarily what you and I think are the most important questions. And if they latch onto another question, then they do. So housekeeping, there's, if you don't know your rising or your moon sign, there's a link down below for a free birth chart online. There's a link also for the Facebook group for this channel, where I post obviously these videos and all the astrology videos I watch, and every so often other readers or the odd documentary that I find that goes, oh, that's interesting. In the meantime, you can also contact me through there if you're looking for a personal reading. There's also a Twitter and a Tumblr details down below. At least I think I put the Tumblr there. I better check now I've said that. So, Aries dog, summer 2020, during retrograde season, during eclipse season, hopefully before all of the astrology really gets quite severe again, like we've just gone through towards the end of the year. Apparently it's a little bit calmer, not much, but a little bit calmer over the summer, and then things get crazy again towards the end of the year. So that's something to look forward to. Obviously your north nodes have just changed. Your nodes, sorry. Everyone's emphasis is changing slightly. Going into Gemini. If you're Aries rising, I've no idea what house that will be. Aries, Taurus, that will be in your second house. Yep, I think that's all the waffle done. So let me bring up the cards. Now, there's a huge amount of cards and decks here. If the computer will listen to what I'm doing, there you go. You'll notice that basically from most decks I've just taken the one card and the deck is underneath, because they're mainly all oracle decks. We have the I Ching, we have the Tao Te Ching, the Akashic Tarot, Spirits and Mystics. That's just to remind me who I'm talking to, Pisces dog. Mists of Avalon, Wisdom of the House of Night, the Angelarium, great little oracle, a very old archangel oracle. These little spell cards, and the three oracle decks combined here to show the archontic god forces that are going that are trying to suppress you, and the real god forces that are trying to lift you up. Now, I want to draw your attention firstly to the hexagram number 33 of the I Ching, and what that is saying is, well, it says the enemy has the advantage. Let me read it out. I don't know the I Ching off by heart, so a few of these I've just looked up to make sure that I've got it right. There's some interesting things come out of the books here, but hexagram number 33, the enemy has the advantage under the present circumstances. This is heaven above, mountain below. A retreat is the wisest course, but for future success, it must be well considered. The mountain provides shelter and the perspective that comes from rising above the situation. From this vantage point, the next battles can calmly be planted. Now, this got bookmarked with the Nine of Swords. So this is some form of stressy event that is coming in towards you. Pretty much without a doubt, because what I'm feeling here is that you are going to be put into a situation where you feel trapped between two worlds, or like you've got one foot in one world, one foot in another world. And this is because of something that you find very beautiful. You almost have a fascination with it. We have Persephone here with Helen of Troy. But notice that Persephone is heading away from us here. She's heading into the underworld. So it's almost like she's leading you to somewhere that's not a good idea for a living person. You're not supposed to go into the underworld if you're alive, at least not that particular underworld, not into Hades and Tartarus and all that. Now, the first tarot that comes up, again, is the Devil with the Ten of Cups. So it is implying that there is something that you find really, really attractive and are drawn to, and you even make plans to come towards, but it's not entirely the best of ideas, because I always clarify the Devil card. That's why there's that extra card there. But I don't feel good about this Ten of Cups. There's this thing that offers better than wish fulfillment, but it is a trap. It is chaining you to something. But there does seem to be something that promises to come good out of it. It's immediately followed by the Two of Cups with the Fool. But because of the nature of those previous cards and the next cards, I'm feeling that, yeah, maybe this is a union that you don't necessarily want to jump into, or you want to jump into in a way that you have plans. You know, you have plans. You have get out clauses. You have exit strategies. That's the phrase I'm looking for. An exit strategy. The actual Two of Cups card itself, I don't feel that bad about. It's just that it's coming off of the back of this previous situation. Now, if it is the thing that was pulling you along by your own desires, then no, bad. Definitely bad. If it is something that you encounter along the path of while being pulled along by your own desires, that feels better. That feels like a far better option. But the challenges that are facing you in this season, we have the Ten of Wands with the Ace of Cups. So it's like a new dream, a new, like I say, a new sparkly thing, a new love, a new dream gets offered to you, and you're like, oh yes, I want to go for this, but it's a burden. Oh, and the camera just went really weird there. Yeah, this new love, this new offer is a burden of some form. It's something that is does promise to weigh you down, and as I say, it seems to promise trouble because the adversary is at the gate and has the advantage. Oh, I didn't look that one up. So what also leads me to think this is we have Netza, or Netzach, depending on what spelling you want to use. The right leg of the Tree of Life, endurance. Now, that's the seventh emanation of the Tree of Life, Netza. And stalwart in the face of adversity is the logo in here. So, yeah, there is a challenge coming up without two shades of a doubt. But it's a challenge that with Ra here, this is the god that is lifting you up. You have the power. And remember, you have the power to face, sorry. And remember that sunshine is the best disinfectant. So I'm really, the fact that that just popped straight into my head, there is some form of thing where truth will be useful and exposing truths will be useful, which again is what North Node in Gemini is all about. Now this was clarified accidentally because these two cards just fell out and wanted to stay out by the Fool and the Nine of Moths, which is the Nine of Wands. Now the Nine of Wands for me, it's a nearly there card, but also being a 9, rebirth. You know, it really offers through information, through fire, through action, it offers you a form of rebirth. So it's almost like you might be drawn into some, foot in another world, but it's something that the truth will soon out, because you end up pretty much getting transformed by the experience and walking away from it. If you notice, we've got the Ace of Cups here, which is that new love or new fascination coming in, but the Eight of Cups here, clarifying judgment. This whole process, I'm not saying that, how can I put it? You will get pulled, you're likely to get pulled along by this fascination, this beautiful thing. But there's so much learning to get on the way. Just make sure you have an exit strategy. Just like, even if you do have somebody else coming in during this process, have an exit strategy. You might not need it, but you certainly do with this first beautiful thing that comes along. So, strength in the face of adversity. This great leader carries us forth through our darkest times. Doesn't this sound like fun? Netzah is the strength to endure, regardless of suffering. When we feel that we have reached our limits and new strength continues to emerge, we find the embrace of Netzah. With any increase in force, he too grows stronger. Each challenge is met with equal vigour, and we know you're being challenged from this, from the I Ching here. But information will also keep giving you strength here. I used another tarot deck just as bookmarks for all of these. And I always like to pay attention to what cards come out as the bookmarks. We've got the Knave of Swords, which is information coming into you that will give you that extra strength to carry on forward. So, it's almost like there's an emotional journey with this first fascination and then this second event, which is a union of some form, that it almost makes you go, okay, you know what, I am okay with this situation, I am okay with having gone through this situation. But then there's loads of options that are offered to you, and I can't tell from which of these two sources here, from whether it's from this Two of Cups or the Devil and Persephone here, that makes you go, yeah, I'm okay with the fact that I've got into this situation and every path forward here is useless. It's worthless. It's fairy favours, illusions, or things that I just do not believe in, that I do not care about. And that creates that transformation within you where you are walking away, and then you are walking away fast. Yes, still carrying some form of burden, but with this Ten of Moths, I really do feel that this is a burden that you go, no, that's not my burden. This is my burden, and I will carry it with pride. We have the Chariot here pulling the Ten of Wands for Ten of Moths forward. Moths are wands in this steampunk tarot. Then there is a choice that you get to make towards the end, a choice that has certainly a time limit, and you have to act upon it. And I think that you will be, it's a choice that you are left totally to yourself to make, totally to yourself. There is some guidance coming in if you can listen to it, but you have to look at what your own foundation here is to move forward. You've already come to terms with a lot of this situation, whatever it was. Like I say, there's, once we get over here, it's like the certainly from this point, the options and illusions and the walking away, the transformation, that threat seems to, that adversary seems to have subsided in their influence. But even from the Akashic Tarot, we had the lookout. Be aware of, keep your eye open for hazards, and don't fall into, 4 cards fell out of this one, this is supposed to be 1 each. Don't fall into the trap of believing that you can handle all of this, which you can, because Ra is giving you that power, but having a foolhardy attitude of, yeah, I'll be all right, I can do this, whatever, will trip you up. it's keep asking yourself, can I? The answer will always be yes, but keep asking yourself, can I? Because there's that element of, what if I can't? What will I need to do then? And those are your Two of Wands, your exit strategies, your plans to sidestep. So as much as I know Aries likes to go and do a thing, but on each of these actions, you need to have the caveat of, I'm going to do that, and if that doesn't work, I'm going to do that. You know, so you've always got that backup plan. That's what I might call the reading, have a backup plan. Now there's some of this is karma from the past. I don't know whether that's the adversary, but some of it was karma from the past. I did see a 6 of Cups somewhere. I think it was in one of my bookmarks for the Oracle card decks, because some of these are new and I'm still learning them. But with the karmic trench, there's also a trap that you can get yourself into a similar situation as what you have been in before, because you probably didn't learn the lesson the first time, and now it is for you to go, no, I did learn the lesson, I'll carry my own burden, not this burden that somebody else is bringing along for me. But you are protected in this. There is, the final card here is Sangha, community. So it's a sense of friends that are around you, a sense of people that are there to support you, come what may. It's also a sense of new people coming in that you immediately gel with. Now, since that 6 of Cups has sprung to mind, let me see if I can find it. Aha, so yes, it was to do with Ra. So almost there is power in remembering your original values, because like I say, this Persephone offers you to be stuck in 2 worlds, 1 foot in one world, 1 foot in the other world. So you have to remember what your original values are. Now, I'm not saying that you stick to them come what may, because this is a learning experience, as we see by the emotional resolution of the King of Cups here. But there is a warning about being too rigid, about keeping your own walls up. Maybe with Ra's blessing, you're actually learning the value of some things that you've always been brought up with, and they're, you know, like knee-jerk reactions or Pavlov's dog's mechanisms. But you finally find that, you know, that had value. That thing that I've always been told, actually, yeah, it's right. Because there is an urge for freedom here. We've got the Angel of Freedom and the Angel of Harmony. Now, what Persephone here is bringing with this Devil and the 10 of Cups, I don't feel that that's very harmonious. Certainly not when we look at the I Ching card here. But there is that urge for freedom. And so it's almost like Persephone, by offering you another world, you go, ooh, somewhere where I can be free. No, you're freer where you are. But I do think that you maybe need to put a foot in that world to value the world that you're already in. But what you are working towards here is a sense of harmony. And then we finally have the, well, not finally, we're a long way from finally. We have the Lady of the Lake, which, now she got the 9 of Wands again. So again, there's that sense of nearly there. And her message is about relying upon your own truth and integrity. So I feel that there is something here that you're going to be pulled away because you're fascinated, but then you find that you have to compromise something of yourself and you pull right back, which is actually, I probably should have read a bit more. What was it? Number 17. So the Lady of the Lake is a being of great magical powers, blah, 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 blah. Right, when she appears, she is there to remind you that you are responsible for shaping your reality. She extends to you her magical sword of truth, which has been formed by the will of the goddess, and asks that you live by your truth and integrity. The Lady of the Lake once handed the sacred sword to King Arthur, blah, 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 blah. She denotes that it's time for you to take up the challenge that has been handed to you. What do you really stand for, and what do you want to become? Dive into the deep waters of your inner being and resurface with self-understanding. So there really is that re-examining of everything that, that you've been brought up with. Those own moral codes and what have you. And you'll find that some of them are a little bit more worth it than what you thought. But bear in mind that this is what you're aiming for, the harmony aspect. Let's see if I can get the camera to focus a bit by doing that as well. We have from here the Tao Te Ching, the photo. I haven't read this yet. Formed of confusion, verse 25. There is matter formed of confusion born earlier than heaven and earth. In the silence and the void it stands alone and does not change. It turns around without worry. It is capable of being the mother of all creatures under heaven. I do not know its name, but call it Tao. It is compelled to be named Great. Great means passing away. Passing away means far away. Far away means returning. That is why the Tao is great, heaven is great, earth is great, the Emperor is great. Within the realm there are four great things. The Emperor is one of the four. Human beings follow the earth follows the heaven. Heaven follows the Tao, and the Tao follows nature. Older things that are having the positive influence when you are introduced to the new. It's almost like, remember Aries, that you are the Emperor. That is your card. But there is a matter of following, that aspect of following nature is something that I think this stepping into a new world is different from your normal nature. And that offers that sense of freedom, but you find you get better freedom by choosing your own burden. Right, let's have a quick look at Socrates, wherever I've put him. So he reminds us to bring the divine into your life and break down the walls that stifle and numb the creative soul. You have a story to tell inside your bones, ready to bear its honest face. Resolution is brewing and apologies are forthcoming. Be open and take a step at a time. That I really like. That's the emotional journey that he offers. But he also offers inspiration through dreams and visions to give us new energy. He activates crown and throat chakras if that's necessary for you. And there is that element of spiritual... The only evidence of the spiritual guidance here, or spiritual connection, is Socrates himself, and then the little bird here on the Nine of Pentacles, where you are making a decision all on your own, based on your own, of what you are going to move through, but with that aspect of there will be a still, small, silent voice. Now, the last card that I haven't dealt with here is Awen, the three rays of light, balancing male and female energies, peace and harmony. So, Two of Cups, maybe you're balancing aspects about yourself within all of this. And the whole journey into Persephone's underworld is to highlight one aspect of your energy that you've maybe not been using to its fullest. It's taking it to the extreme, and then you're drawing back again with this Two of Wands to go, I can use both and I can balance, but I will do it my way and I will plan ahead. Like I say, there's, what was it I was going to call the reading? Have a backup plan. That Angel of Harmony seems to be the loudest card here. You're working towards harmony, but you are going to step into the chaos just for a moment, just to learn how to come back and create more harmony in your own environment. So all in all, it's a trying summer, but that leaves you in a very good place. That leaves you a lot more armoured and balanced to face whatever the world's going to throw at us next and whatever the back end of the year astrology is going to hurl at us. So if this means anything to you, Aries, or if you, well, Aries dog, sorry, or if you have any comments about it whatsoever, please give me feedback. This is the third of my readings with this combining Chinese and Western signs. So I'd like your feedback. And do you want to see any more? Are there any more combinations that you want? I mean, one would assume that you have Aries in your chart since you're here and you've got to this point of the video. Obviously, you're only going to have the one Chinese zodiac, but if you want me to look at other dogs, then yeah, comment down below. All right, cheers.